Welcome everybody. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday. We're happy you're all here. We just had an awesome session of Quiz House trivia with prizes, and now we are here to talk about LinksDAO. What's going on? What's the latest? Answer any questions y'all may have, and we can get right on into it. Looks like we've got Jim up here on stage. Jim, I heard you were at the PGA show in Florida this past week. Can you hear me? It looks like you have your headset muted based off the icon. Yeah. We're gonna get Jim to figure that out. Jordan, do we have the winner of the vessel bag giveaway? Should we kick it off just right off the top with a giveaway?
Yeah, yeah, let's do that. So we ran. Well, first of all, we launched the new exclusive Links and Vessel custom bag. We're extremely sold out. Last I checked, we have one left of the bags. We might have sold that since I last looked. And we also simultaneously ran a giveaway to win one of these incredible bags. It's on our Twitter account. If you go look there now, it is also in the pro shop. We had a lot of entrants into the contest. And I'm not sure if she's in the audience, but I'm going to announce the winner now. The winner is Jennifer, and she is one gem on Discord. And just for a little backstory here, I went to Cooper and I was like, hey, this is the person who won. Here's her Discord handle. And she's like, oh, she's amazing. She's a great community contributor and all of that. So I was very happy to see one of our awesome community members win. So Jennifer, if you're here, I don't think you are, raise your hand. Otherwise, we will contact her and let her know.
That's right. Saying the GMs frequently. Love to see it. Love to see the GMers win. Yeah, that vessel bag is just awesome. So knowing that there's one left, definitely snag that, and we might have to get some more bags in. Those are so cool. I got to play with that this weekend. It's a great bag. So props to the pro shop team, getting that all set up, partnerships, vessel, etc. Speaking of cool golf companies, Jim, how was the PGA show? Can you give us some highlights?
It was essentially like a carnival of golf. That's the best way that I could describe it. It was every golf company in a very large conference center showcasing their latest and greatest. It was a bunch of like player reps there to like see what the most interesting companies were doing and also start to negotiate deals for their players. It was the kind of the preeminent golf course architects there speaking about where they feel like golf course design is going. It was Ryan Burkett and Nick Walker, both very early community members and contributors, closing down the Rocks Bar at 2 a.m. while making a bunch of different contacts. I mean, it was really all the things. It couldn't have been a more comprehensive view into the future of what the golf industry is looking at, Coop.
Sounds like an incredible time. Yeah, Nick was telling us about they have that 360-degree driving range with all of the equipment manufacturers. Just seems like a really cool time to get in touch with people from golf. Are there any highlights or great conversations you want to recap for us here with regards to Links and our project?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, well, first, you guys were just talking about that vessel bag. Before I get into the conversations we had, because there was a lot of like very interesting folks that want to get involved in our project, and kind of we've furthered along a lot of the discussions we've been having over the last like 12 to 18 months with some of the larger organizations, which I can kind of like recap now. But first, I want to say like I knew obviously we were designing the vessel bag. I think Vessel's a great company. The second that we closed that deal, I knew I wanted the vessel bag, but what you should all know is nobody on the core team gets these things for free or gets access to them before anybody else. Just because I'm a global holder, I was able to get access to it. So I bought it the first second I could. And it is like, it blew my mind in terms of the quality of this bag. I get one new bag a year, and I always go to my pro shop at my golf club and get like, I don't know, it's a Titleist bag, it's a Valley bag, whatever. or Sun Mountain Bag, but this one is like it is just built differently. And the collaboration that we have with Vessel, I think we're excited about. At the PGA show, we spent a bunch of time with the Vessel folks. They're really, really excited about it and feel like there's just so many synergies with us and our community and what we're trying to do, like philosophically as a project. So I just want to say that thing is next level. So anyway, so tactically with the PGA show, so I was there with Nick Walker and Ryan Paquette, and we had a ton of different meetings over the course of essentially 2.5 days. That's how long the thing is in terms of its real like usable time. And we had, I think, about 55 meetings during the day. And these meetings they varied widely in terms of the types of companies we were meeting with. So be from a Bridgestone to an 8 a.m. Golf, who's a very large holding company in the world of golf, to a Golf Genius, to a Mizuno, to Cobra Puma. I probably spent about 5 hours with the executives from the PGA Tour discussing how we could potentially do something together. We spent a bunch of time with the swag guys because they're doing some cool things. The good guys, the octagons, the bad birdies, the leaderboards, the waggles, who else can I think of at the top of my head? Drivebox, LA Golf, Bridgestone. We just had an enormous amount of, I'd say, meetings with the leading companies in golf. That would be companies that are very well established, equipment manufacturers and the like, and also companies that we know that as a community we really connect with. So the future thinking companies like a Swag Golf. And I mean the TLDR, kind of the net that we came out with is there's just still such an enormous enthusiasm and excitement about what we're doing as a project, and there's just a huge amount of interest in being involved in what we're doing as a project. Because I think a lot of these organizations, they see what we've done as something that really hasn't been done in the world of golf, and that's building a modern, fun, young, forward-thinking community before we've ever actually thought about how to build a brand and a business, right? That's never been the driving force of this project. The driving force of this project is love of what we're doing together and our ability to do it differently, right? So I think that still holds true in terms of the interest level from the world of golf. We also spent a bunch of time with different architects. So I'd say the most interesting conversations we had were with Rob Collins from Kings Collins. You guys, if you know Sweetens Cove or Landman, he's designed those two. He's designing kind of a next level private course outside of Nashville right now. He's got a proposal in front of Pinehurst about building this ridiculous, crazy concept of a golf course that has 21 greens and 5 different routings. So it could be 5 different 18-hole golf courses on the same property. So this guy's like really he's extremely creative with how he approaches golf course design. We've been talking to Rob for really about a year, since the early days of the project. And he wanted to spend some time with us because he's just still super interested in kind of our approach to golf and our philosophy on golf and how we should make it bigger and more inclusive and just more fun and creative. We also spent a bunch of time with Bo Welling. Bo just, with Gil Hance, did the PGA Frisco design, so the new PGA of America headquarters down in Texas. And when I met him, he was sitting with Jimmy Dunn. I mean, this guy he's a luminary in the world of golf. And we spent about an hour and a half together talking about the project and again, what our community is looking for and how they might be able to help us get there. So from the architecture side, there's still just an enormous amount of enthusiasm with what we're doing. And a lot of the top guys, frankly, just they're looking for ways to get involved with us. Now, it doesn't make sense for them to get involved with us until we have a course. So we also spent a lot of time outside of the manufacturers and the apparel companies and the swag companies and the architects with golf course owners and brokers. So on that front, we are right now still engaged with what we feel is an extremely interesting property, southeast of the United States, architecturally notable, and it is really a lot of the things that we're looking for as a community. So the greens are sensational. The routing is really interesting, and you could do a bunch of different routings from the current 18-hole layout. There's a enormous amount of space to develop. So we could say we want to put in 3, 4, 5 cottages, put it in a top tracer range. Just basically, it ticks a lot of boxes in terms of the feedback we've gotten from the community. Now, this place is not, it was not for sale. And I think that's been one of the things that we've really been focused on. How can we find sensational places that we could put a bit of money into, work with a great architect that are already really, really good? If we put a little bit of money into it with a great architect, we can make it sensational, that are basically off market. So we're not competing with the larger golf course networks and organizations like a Troon or Invited in a bidding process. We're also looking for people that are like, again, philosophically aligned with what we want to do as a community. And these guys really check all those boxes. So I spent a lot of time with this group. And again, I can't go into any more detail than that because one, we don't know if ultimately they're going to be interested in doing a transaction with us or a partnership with us. And two, we want to respect their privacy because again, it's not for sale. So, and they've asked us very specifically to kind of keep it under wraps for now. There were another 5 courses that we had discussions with when we were out there that we feel like could be good fits. Some of these are kind of big name courses in big name areas, i.e. like Florida. Some of them were up and coming courses that maybe were opened 5 or 6 years ago that they don't necessarily fit a mold for a specific company because these golf course companies, frankly, they always look for local yield, and our model is obviously very, very different. And some additional ones are kind of maybe bigger courses that are looking for an interesting partnership to partner with a company like LinksDAO or an organization like LinksDAO to bring a new and fresh membership and community to the table. So there was a lot done on the course front. Now, all this being said, what we want to ensure is that we are buying the right course, right? We're buying the right course for us, all of us together. We're buying the right course for our ability to change and tweak things to how we want as a project, as a family, to make the thing look and feel. And we want to make sure we're buying the right course in an environment that is still very, very seller friendly, right? Golf courses have never been more expensive than they are today. We want to make sure that we're not overpaying for something because what we want to do is buy a brilliant place and have some resources left over for the community, for the DAO to basically suggest how we want this place to look and feel, the rules, so on and so forth. So it has been an extraordinary week and a half of deepening conversations. It was really nice to meet a lot of these folks like a Rob Collins, like a Bo Welling, like a lot of these other kind of executives from these businesses I was mentioning before in person. In COVID times, we really haven't had the chance to. And so I think the PGA show was a great opportunity for us to, meet a lot of new friends, and then the friends that we'd already met, actually meet them in person, have a beer, and, get a little deeper into the relationship with them. So yeah, Coop, it was a pretty extraordinary week.
That is killer. There's so much there to process. I'm blown away. That sounds like a really, really productive time. Ryan, do you have any highlights that you want to cover from the trip?
Oh, I mean,
Your favorite part?
How do you follow that up? Jim really kind of nailed it at the beginning. I think the biggest observation that I had is, yes, we had like a ton of work to do and lots of meetings, as Jim covered. But the thing that was like just really cool for me that I enjoyed is I've worked in a few different industries in my career, and this is the first time I've been to a trade show where like almost everyone, I think, yeah, just like everyone is there because they're passionate about golf, right? Like, for example, I used to work in like manufacturing tech. It's like I can guarantee you the vast majority of people attending the trade shows in that industry are not there because they're like super passionate about that particular industry. And so for me, the energy was just different. I was like a kid in the candy store the whole time. And yeah, as Jim said, like tons of really awesome conversations and opportunities for us to collaborate with some really notable brands.
That's so great. Super excited to hear how the follow-ups and things that come out of that. all those meetings go. Thank you so much, Jim, for that update. Looking forward
Actually,
to yeah.
Coop, Ryan is being very pragmatic, but I would guess that some of his highlights and also Nick's highlights were closing down the Rocks Bar at 2 a.m. with our agent, who's also Jordan Spieth's agent, Jay Danzy, on 3 consecutive evenings. I would say is probably some highlights from just
Let's just say a lot of great conversations were had. Not a lot of hours of sleep were had, though. But that's all right. It's worth it.
Hey, that's good, right? Making those connections, that's fantastic. Speaking of which, if you're looking to make some connections with some golfers, particularly if you are in New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, or one of our link up groups, you can register for the 5-iron leagues they're starting in February. You can join a team and play 5-iron simulator golf in the league. LinksDAO has covered the price of admission, so you can sign up for those on Clubhouse. Get in touch with the captains, join the Telegram groups. Those are in the regional channels. And we can get you set up to play simulator golf, have some drinks, get some pizza. They got great food. Get out there and hit some balls before it's warm enough to play outside. So we're really looking forward to those. Anything to add to that, Mr. Senor, on the clubhouse side for the 5-iron leagues?
No, I mean, they're all up there. I think last week we were still in the process of putting them in. So you should be able just to go to Clubhouse, go to events. I'm sure the link is in Discord. But you can go into Clubhouse, go into events. You can find them all there by area. You can also see all. So just once you go in, all you have to do is click attend, and then someone will reach out to you. You can also jump into the Telegram group for each group and have discussions there if you have questions about attending or details, etc. It's all right there in Clubhouse for you.
Perfect. Great spot to get fitted too at 5-iron with your membership. And if you're interested in playing in Philly, hit me up and we can get you scheduled in the Philly group. Also, if you have signed up, we had a really great response turnout for the Links Leagues. The form to fill out to play either IRL, green grass, outside golf, simulator golf, or PGA 2K23 in our first season. Keep an eye out. We will be getting in touch with y'all as we roll that out to compete against each other for prizes. Playing some golf against other Links members separately, asynchronously, but recording our scores using our Links scoring system. So really excited about that. And if you haven't signed up for that yet, that is in the announcements channel. Very excited. The next thing, we had some great golf play this weekend. Max Homa, some drama out there in the desert in Dubai. But I think what we're all really looking forward to is the People's Open, the Waste Management with the Stadium 16th, some craziness, some hole-in-ones. It's definitely one of my favorite events of the year, but we're really, really looking forward to it. We're talking to some of our partners and putting together a really fun content schedule for y'all this upcoming week. That tournament is from February 9th to February 12th. But we're going to have tour picks on Twitter Spaces to answer your questions about odds and placing your bets. We're going to be working with Knights of Degen to get you guys some bonus rewards for your DraftKings tournaments. With that, brought to you by Crot, who's been just crushing that. Golf season's coming, y'all, and we're doing some really, really fun stuff. Additionally, if you want to preview the course, get a feel for each of the holes, and play it virtually in PGA 2K23, we are hosting that tournament, courtesy of Jay Kirby. Stay tuned in the gaming channels for more details there. And then the ultimate watch party right here in the Links Discord. We're going to be having some great reactions, live tweeting it, posting about what's happening. And anytime there's a hole-in-one, we're going to have a prize for you all. So if you want to RSVP for that, pop over to the Clubhouse channel, the main channel, and type !WM. And that will RSVP you for the People's Open. Waste Management coming up. Stay tuned for more information on that. We're really excited. Are there any questions for the audience while we've got Jim up here on stage? Anybody want to come up and cover anything we've touched on today? Any questions about PGA show, the gaming, the 5-iron, anything else, feel free to raise your hand. We have you up here on stage. If not, we can go about our Tuesday evenings. But really appreciate each and every one of you showing up here tonight and being great members of this community.